Don't you think the setting of Predator Badlands could finally solve a 14-year-old mystery in the franchise? It's kind of wild that they're doing a past set Prey 2 and a future set Predator movie, but I actually think it's secretly genius. With this new Badlands movie, we might finally get answers to questions like, what happened to Royce and Isabel after Predators? And what's the real story with Dutch after the first Predator? Where's he been since 1987? Well, here's what you need to know about the upcoming movie that could answer all these questions. As we all know, the surprise hit, Prey gave the struggling Predator franchise a much-needed boost in 2022, and now the intergalactic hunter is coming back in another standalone movie called Badlands. The Predator franchise kicked off with the original 1987 film, where a group of mercenaries on a rescue mission in South America ends up battling an alien creature that hunts them for sport. Besides being a big hit for Arnold Schwarzenegger, Predator clearly had franchise potential, which filmmakers have been exploring for over 3 decades. The follow-up, Predator 2, dropped in 1990 and was mostly panned by critics, even though it introduced new lore that's still part of the series today. The sequel notably teased a crossover with the Alien franchise, leading to various games, movies, and comics. 2 lackluster sequels in the 2010s nearly spelled the end for this 80s icon, but Prey in 2022 proved that there's still life in the series. Now, with another standalone film in the works, Badlands has the potential to replicate Prey's success. The latest update reveals that Elle Fanning is in talks to star in Badlands. The child star turned Hollywood sensation has been turning heads recently with her role as Catherine the Great in The Great, and she's reportedly set to lead the next Predator movie. While details about Fanning's role are still under wraps and her involvement hasn't been officially confirmed by the studio, it's exciting news for fans. Badlands was announced around the same time as Prey 2, with the standalone film officially confirmed in February 2024. Although the plot remains a mystery, it's known that Prey director Dan Trachtenberg will return to helm the project. The timeline for Badlands hasn't been set, but it's expected to come out before Prey 2. Early hints suggest that Badlands will be set in a different time and place, separate from Prey. Dan Trachtenberg, who directed the hit Prey, is back for Badlands, continuing his role in the franchise's revival. While Patrick Aisen, who co-wrote Prey, has not yet been confirmed to return, his involvement would make sense given the focus on continuity in the recent Predator films. That said, the great thing about the Predator franchise is that the Yautja can show up anywhere and anytime since they've been roaming space for centuries, if not longer. Prey took us to North America in the early 18th century, while other films have showcased them in modern-day settings. Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Prey, has only dropped hints about the plot of Badlands, but it's likely to be set in the future. If Prey moved the timeline back further than ever before, Badlands might go in the opposite direction, exploring how the Yautja hunt humans in a more advanced future. It's possible that Badlands will build on some of the futuristic elements hinted at in Predator 2, which gave us a glimpse of a high-tech Los Angeles. Although details about Dan Trachtenberg's Badlands are still sparse, it's clear that the film will steer the Predator franchise in a bold new direction with its setting. Unlike Trachtenberg's previous hit, Prey, which took us back in time, Badlands will be set in the near future. This opens up some intriguing possibilities, like the potential for humanity to venture into space and confront the Predators on their own turf. One exciting prospect is that a more futuristic setting might finally address unresolved storylines from the franchise. Specifically, Badlands could resolve the cliffhanger from Predators 2010, where Adrian Brody's Royce and Alice Braga's Isabel were left stranded on an alien planet after defeating 3 Predators. If Badlands explores space travel, it could offer a resolution for Royce and Isabel's fate and potentially bring them back from their ordeal, with Lawrence Fishburne's character, Noland, having shown that it's possible to survive on the Predator planet undetected. A new arrival from Earth, even if by accident, could tie Badlands into the larger Predator universe and provide closure for a much-missed storyline. Reintroducing Royce and Isabel in Badlands wouldn't just add depth to the story, it'd also give these characters some long-overdue closure. While Predator set them up as great protagonists, it ended with them stranded on an alien planet, which made their survival skills feel a bit pointless. Out of all the characters who faced off against Predators, Royce and Isabel are among the few who actually made it out alive, so they definitely deserve more than being left in a distant, unknown solar system. Even though the Predator franchise isn't exactly known for deep character development, Royce and Isabel are up there with icons like Dutch, Harrigan, and Naru. As standout survivors who outwitted the ultimate hunter, the others got to continue their lives back on Earth and even received some recognition from the Yautja, while Royce and Isabel were left hanging. If Badlands sticks to the trend of standalone stories, wrapping up their story would be a fitting reward for their impressive battle skills. Another question that Badlands could potentially address is, what really happened to Dutch after Predator? Since 1987, we haven't seen Arnold Schwarzenegger's character Dutch make a return, despite surviving the first film. The Predator franchise often skips over the return of key characters, with Dutch being a prime example. Given how later movies have shown the government getting involved in Predator research, it's hard to believe they'd just let their top eyewitness fade away without any follow-up. Even if Dutch doesn't play a major role in the story, it would be great if Badlands at least touched on his fate after the events of the original movie. As for why the strategy of having Prey 2 set in the past and Predator, Badlands in the future, is a bit weird but secretly smart, even though it might seem odd at first that the two upcoming Predator films are set in such different timelines. It could actually be a genius move for the franchise. We've got a sequel to the critically acclaimed Prey from 2022 and a new film, Badlands, also in the works. The catch? These two films don't seem connected at all, which can be a bit confusing. The Predator franchise started way back in 1987 with the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic and has since included several sequels, crossovers with the Alien franchise, and the recent prequel, Prey. Unlike some franchises, Predator doesn't follow a straightforward timeline. Instead, it features isolated encounters across different periods. This time around, we have Badlands, set in the future, and Prey 2, which will follow directly from Prey, set in the 1700s. Even though having two films with such different settings might seem strange, it could actually be a smart move. By exploring various timelines and tones, the franchise could attract a wider audience and set the stage for more unique films in the future. It's shaping up to be more of an anthology series, which could be pretty exciting. That said, one big question everyone still seems to have is whether the Alien vs. Predator movies are considered canon for the Predator franchise and what happened to Lex. The status of these crossover films is pretty debated. While the Alien franchise has essentially ignored the AVP movies and rewritten their lore, it's not so clear with Predator. This is something Badlands might clear up. Badlands could finally address whether the events of Alien vs. Predator AVP and Aliens vs. Predator Requiem AVPR fit into the Predator timeline. Fans are especially curious about what happened to Lex after the events of AVP and whether the fallout from AVPR has any impact on the current Predator story. Another lingering question is the role of the Yutani Corporation in the Predator universe. The Badlands could provide answers to these questions and help to clarify the place of the crossover films in the broader Predator lore. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. What are your thoughts on how Badlands might tackle unresolved questions from the Alien vs. Predator series, or how the new movie's timelines could impact the franchise? Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.